All right, hello everyone. We're back here for some more Tour 10 of the brand new Porthello Cove course. See if I can't grab an opponent real quick. Here you can see we're getting hole 7, par 4. And this hole has kind of various options to go about doing it. So what I've been doing, and what I'll probably do for this shot here, is I think I can get away with a Titan ball, some backspin. You can see that I'm going to use roughly maybe about 6 bars here. And what I've been doing is I've been getting pretty aggressive with my aim. So you can see that I'm going to basically aim for this spot right up in here. It should just get to the other side into the fairway. And you can see there, I catch a great ball to the right. Hopefully I left enough room for that. I do believe that I did. So far, looks good. Looks good. And here you can see that it just crawls up onto the fringe. Should be an easy pitch for me to be able to make from there. So you can see that, the way that I'm going to play around with that spin is going to be very dependent upon how much wind I have. If they give me a little bit more wind than that, I'll try to cheat the corner, maybe even a little more. I might start to start to take off the power a little bit. But, what I'm trying to visualize specifically for my situation, at least one per ring, 0.9 per ring. I know it's going to land at least 10 or 11 rings downwind there in that case. So that's the point that I'm visualizing. And the top of my bullseye is going to be 5 rings, so I'm just visualizing another 5 on top of that as kind of my landing zone. And that's how I'm going about setting that up. Here you can see what happens. If you don't take enough, that you're going to hit the rough and just kind of spin through, but it'll still at the very least give you a very good option to hopefully be able to make. And what I'm going to do here is I'll just test my land zone. You can see that it has a little bit of break, so what I'll usually do is I'll try to straighten some of that out. And you can see that it's just kind of popping up in the air, adjusting over a little bit. So we're just going to play very marginal wind. You can see I'm just putting it outside the cup. And as I mentioned, I like to do kind of straighten up my guide so it doesn't have that break. And usually with the side spin, you're allowed to be able to do that. So there you can see a very easy, straightforward approach to this hole. I have got quite a few tailwinds. If we get headwinds, then we're just going to hop it over to the other side, as opposed to carry it to the other side of the water. So when we hop it, we'd be looking more at what my opponent has here. A little bit longer pitch, a little bit harder to make. You have to actually play some wind. Well outside the cup. That's not enough. That's not enough wind play for this kind of distance. But there you see a little bit of curl. That'll help. Maybe even a great ball to the left might even help. But in any regard, good luck with that hole. I think, it's going to be one of those holes that you're probably going to be able to get an eagle back. And it'll, make your life a little bit easier to be able to get that one for the upcoming tournament. Especially with some of these hard par 5s, there might be some mistakes that are made on this upcoming tournament. So that's going to be, hopefully, something that's going to be feasible, is some kind of tailwind to where you could at least get over, even if it was with a berserker ball. Just keep in mind, in those tailwind situations, you always have to be thinking plus 30% downwind kind of. So my normal is 1.3 per ring, for instance, but I play it much more like 0.9 per ring in those situations where it's full overpower and all that. And as I mentioned, I was visualizing basically 11 rings down for my land zone for that hole. Would give me a good estimate of how it was going to play out. And, similarly, if you guys have Thor's Hammer or Apocalypse, earlier Apocalypses with, 75 or 64 accuracy, you might be looking 1 per ring or maybe 1.2 per ring. down. But you just got to be keeping in mind that extra overplay, about 30%. So do keep that in mind, and good luck with that hole. Be on the lookout for more holes to be coming